Hello and welcome back to another episode of Supercoach Insider. My name is Ben.
And I'm Chris.
And thank you for joining us for our Sydney team analysis.
Yep.
Lots of premiums, lots to discuss.
Lloyd. That's really all I want. This entire podcast.
Oh, he is first on my premiums list. How did that happen?
How did that happen?
Look, thanks again for those joining us. Please do share us and show some love. We are on Facebook.
We are on Facebook.
We are on Facebook, facebook.com/SC Insider. We are also on Twitter, which is SC_Insider_. And on Twitch, Chris?
Twitch.tv/SC_Insider. And on YouTube and SoundCloud, just search for us Supercoach Insider.
Yep, so for those who have just joined us, Twitch, you can then watch us and interact live like we have people at the moment.
Yep, have some great followers that have been on there for a couple of hours now, which is pretty cool.
Some people, which is good. So they must be kicking back their Thursday. And nothing better than getting everything delivered right to your doorstep live.
As you do.
It's great.
Yep. Then you don't have to worry about waiting for us on YouTube or you to edit the stupid podcast or whatever.
Edit your stupid voice out, more like it.
Yeah, right.
Jeez, our voices are like completely opposite as well.
I know.
You're like deep and
I can sing like an angel and you...
Yeah. You're like booming and deep and I'm like high and tinny. That's great.
True. That's
good
true.
luck trying to find settings for that, man.
Something for the people at home. What's your favourite karaoke song?
Oh, Fuel Shimmer.
Great track. I
also like Smash Mouth, I'm a Believer, just to kind of...
just to get the crowd up and going.
Tries to get the deepness out.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm a big Walking in Memphis fan. I like walking, put on my blue suede shoe. No? You know that one? No?
I'm walking in Memphis.
Yeah, there we go. And I also like Better Man by Pearl Jam.
Oh, yeah.
Good tracks.
Yeah.
But I like it. Well done.
Yeah, right.
Fuel by Shimmer. It's like actually one of my favourite songs of all time. Good stuff.
Anyway. Or Incubus Drive, I like as well.
Oh, yeah.
Good song.
Good song.
I got the higher pitch.
Yeah, you can sing a lot more. You can sing the Beaver style songs.
Anyway. Sydney, as we are covering, they have the 7th hardest draw, Chris. So kind of middle of the road.
Yep.
Which is probably where they'll finish.
No, they'll finish in the 8th like they do every single year.
Yep.
Probably 7th or 8th. And then the odd season they'll snag a premiership.
I think there's a lot to happen. I think Sydney are wanting to put some more youth into their midfield because they're getting a bit old and a bit slow. So I think they want to speed it up.
And they have lost, obviously, some of their midfielders as well.
Rohan.
So, yep. Well,
their speed. They lost speed.
And Henry was when he was playing well.
When he wasn't suffering from hamstring awareness.
Yeah, right.
Talking to the boy groups, he was a quick man.
Yes, that's true.
So anyway, they have the round 13 bye, which they share with the Lions, Collingwood, Geelong, Melbourne, and West Coast. So as we've mentioned many times, that's probably one of the hardest bye rounds to match up your premiums.
Which surprisingly, I did a check today, and I don't have many in that group because I've only really got Neil and Zorko right now.
I guess you're not going Gawn on Melbourne, so
I've got Grundy. I don't have any Geelong players. I don't have Gawn. So
I guess Hibbert's not really a premium anymore, is he?
Yeah, right.
West Coast, you could probably still keep it. Herney, maybe?
Yeah, I know, but they have... And the West Coast pod's coming up, but West Coast have some great premiums. I just can't see myself starting any of them. Yeah. Maybe that's just because I'm from Brisbane and I just am butthurt about the grand final.
You're not going to go on the Yo train as a midfielder?
Oh, he had a great year, We'll go through them in the West Coast pod, but yeah, it's interesting.
So, they lost Hanners, they lost Nick Newman, they gained Menzel, they also gained Clark from North Melbourne. So it's going to be interesting. When you look at it, three of their top. Let's go for starting in 2018. Let's see if I'm dyslexic here. So in their first 9 rounds, they only versed 3 top 8 sides.
Okay.
I think that's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
There, Chris. So it's not too bad. So they have the Dogs, Adelaide, Carlton, Melbourne, Richmond, Giants, Lions, Essendon, and North. So not too bad.
Yeah.
There's some hard games there, like obviously Adelaide.
A bit of a mixture.
Well, Dogs and Adelaide, they weren't in the top 8, but then you could see them improving possibly.
So those first 3 rounds, I see Lloyd going at least 130 plus, right?
Yeah, but then Melbourne, Richmond, Giants a bit harder. Lions, Essendon, and North a bit easier.
Yep.
So I think it's not bad to start with a Sydney person in your side based on that. It's definitely not the worst start in the season. So not like the other year how they had all top 6s in the first 6 rounds or whatever it was.
Yeah,
exactly
it was all
right.
And then basically had the perfect advice and didn't follow it ourselves.
Also a great run from round 15. So they have the round 14 buy value, which is even better. So round 15, Suns, Essendon.
So another upgrade special. So if you hit on one of these guys.
Yes, so
what a
they have
great
the round
run.
13 bye, so you could bring them in then for round 14. Suns, Essendon, Carlton, Freo.
Yep.
Bang, bang, bang.
I like it.
Hallelujah. So if you don't have one,
I want
could be a
points.
buddy special at that point for a backhand downhill skier in the back end of the year.
I like it. Especially with Gold Coast there. That's a big point game.
that is.
Yep.
That could be a buddy special, especially considering Stephen May's no longer going to be running on him anyway. So
yeah,
good luck to whoever does that job. Rory Thompson, it's pretty quick.
That?
Rory Thompson, must be.
Well, if he's fit.
Yeah. Who knows? Let's just let Buddy run around, go crazy.
Sounds good to me.
Rookies to note. I've only got 2 rookies to note because I like to tell you the ones to actually focus on.
Fair enough.
I figure the less the better, because if someone does pop up, we will let you know anyway.
Sure we will.
I don't want to give you 10 names about 6 people who you're never going to remember, and then all of a sudden you're watching the preseason going, hang on, was it Wallace? Was it Wilkin? Was it Nevilton? Which one was the 17-year-old? Which one was it?
It was Grundy. Is it Grundy?
It's
It's Grundy.
Really?
Yep.
So it is a good game to do it in.
Yeah, well done.
Or was it Rowan? It's Rowan.
Yeah.
Kicks it after the siren. Anyway.
Excellent.
So Matthew Ling. What a name. Lingy.
As you do.
123k forward mid. Second year Swan with pace to burn. Could be ready to add some excitement to a regenerating some pace to the Sydney side. He was actually drafted, not this year, just gone the one prior. So with Rowan gone and Hanbury gone and Nick Newman all departing, it could actually free it up. So John Longmire said that they need some of these young players to step up and fill the void, and Link could be one of those. So I think that's awesome. I'm definitely watching this guy. He is cheap. So he just had 6 NEFL games in 2018, but with a big preseason, he could actually push himself into the frame for a debut. So that was from the Sydney head of department, so John Blakely. So told them that they drafted him for a purpose, and they drafted him for his run and his talent showed in the under-18s. So if they can get him back and fit, then they really want to get him into their side. So for me, I am watching Matthew Ling, especially at that price. He has had a year out of the system with injury, but they drafted him for a purpose.
Is he a ranger as well?
I wish. I don't know, Chris. So I'm just going based off the facts, based off the stats. And at this point in time, I can't read properly anyway. So let's just move on to my next person. That's probably the most I've ever duffed it in about 13 months, Chris. I think that's probably the most I've been tongue-tied in a while.
Fair enough.
Did you enjoy watching that self-destruction?
I did, actually. I just let you go. just let the slow burn happen.
You just let me go like it was world peace.
Yeah.
Miss America.
Exactly right.
And you ask this question and they're not answering it.
This is
in the slightest.
100% accurate, but I enjoy it, so keep going.
Okay. The next one I want to watch is Nick Blakey, forward 166k. A noted goal kicker who's capable of rotating through other positions. He won the Harrison Medal in 2017 Under-18s Championship and was runner-up last year. So he's a 195 key position player, so don't expect much Supercoach relevance. So he's just one.
So you probably shouldn't have mentioned him anyway.
I know, right? I was saying just a little bit of value there. However, with Reed, if Reed doesn't get up, they might actually want to put somebody in there with Franklin, who is a big boy. So that's why he's relevant, but he's not going to make you much cash.
I like it.
At 166k. So you are correct in that, Chris. In saying that, I probably should have mentioned him, but hey, look. This is my segment. I can do what I like.
It's your segment, bro. Yeah. If it's your party and you'll do what you want to.
Yes. This is my party. So, look, some teams have a lot of rookies that are relevant. So, Western Bulldogs, I think, is one. They have drafted in a lot of mature recruits, which we'll get into as well. Sydney, on the other hand, I think they're going to look to promote within. If anything pops up, we will let you know. But at this point in time, I don't think they had too many draft picks to throw straight into the mix. So Matthew Ling for me is my number one to watch, and I think he will be a very good option in your forward mid. So
fair enough.
Go with him.
I like it.
Let's go premiums. We'll go Lloyd. Are you trying to look for Lloyd? Are you looking for Buddy?
I was actually gonna. Well, I mean, if you're gonna have any highlights, let's be honest. If you're gonna have any single person's highlights from the Sydney Swans, it's got to be Buddy, right?
Well, what about the one where he ran about 19 metres and kicked the goal? Good one.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so Jake Lloyd. Jeez, Matty Lloyd. Jake Lloyd, 608k defender. He averaged you 112, so went absolutely nuts. Started off the year pretty quiet, though, so he averaged 89.8 the first 7. When we said to get on him, we didn't take our own advice because he went absolutely nuts after that.
Right.
Averaged 117.8 the last 15 rounds, and we could and should have got on that train.
Yes.
Yep.
Really regret not doing it. And he was untouchable after that.
Yeah.
Couldn't get to him.
Untouchable.
Yeah. A big thing about Jake Lloyd, of course, this year is the massive kick-out stats. So just so everyone aware, we did highlight this in our last pod. But
he takes 50%.
151 total kickouts, and he plays on 29% of the time. So let's put that into perspective in terms of how many times he kicked off. I'll just quickly bring this up. Hold on one moment. So if he's 29% at 151, that means... Oh, why didn't that work? So 40. So he played on 44 kickouts out of that 151, which means that 107 kickouts were not scaled as a disposal in last year's stats. So if you have 107 kickouts plus, let's say at an average of 2 points per kickout, some will be more, some will be less. So a turnover is still going to be counted as a turnover, which is what, -4. An effective disposal is probably a 3 or a 4. So somewhere in there, I think, will be an average mark. Let's say 2. So that's another 214 points. Let's add that onto his total score for the year. Which
will be an extra 1 point.
No, it's an extra 9 points per game, I think it is.
Shut up, Chris.
So, I mean, that's just it's just huge. I'll get his actual completely total season score. 1 second. Jake Lloyd, here we go. Only takes a second to do this. And you can actually go do this yourself if you like on footywire.com.au, which is pretty cool.
I do love Footywire.
Yeah. So his total score for the year was 2,465, and he played all 22 games. So this is not including the finals, of course. So 2,465 plus...
That's 56.
Oh.
Dyslexic.
2,465.
Yep. Plus
214, the average of 2 points per disposal, 107 of them. That means that it's 2,679 is his total score. Divide that by 22. His average goes up to 121.7.
That's good if you can match it.
That's 9 points per game, just based on last year's figures.
And that's assuming he plays on every time.
No, that's assuming that we worked out, taking out of the equation. Oh, that's assuming that he gets outside the box to dispose of the ball every time.
Correct.
Yeah. So, yeah, it might be slightly less than that. But I can't imagine a lot of defenders not taking advantage of that and getting another stat pad, especially the stat pad king himself, Jake Lloyd.
Yep, that's very cool. My next one is Luke Parker. Chris, we can get your opinion on this one. 561k mid.
Skip me.
Average 103.5. Chris, you started him last year.
I know I did.
How did you enjoy the ride?
No, I didn't start him last year. I traded him from Matt Crouch when Matt Crouch got injured.
Yeah, basically started him because Crouch went down early. Yeah, how'd you feel?
Had a great couple of games in the first start of the season. And then, look, at the end of the day...
Who are you going to get instead of him?
No, I don't want to talk about Patrick Cripps. Don't. You're killing me, Petey. You're killing me. Look, the thing about Luke Parker is that if he plays midfield minutes, he scores massive. When he goes forward, he can impact, can take a grab. But the problem is he's played in a pocket with next to Buddy or
Well, the problem was
Tom McCartan.
Buddy also got injured for a smidge anyway. But you're looking, Reed didn't play much. They didn't really have many tall timber, so Heaney was forced to play because he could grab a mark and kick a goal. JPK even can try to kick a couple goals. Parker, but he's good one-on-one, and he can take a mark and
rarely,
kick a goal.
Though, this is what really pissed me off. Rarely, though, was he played one out. So he was rarely played as sort of Dustin Martin or a Fife full forward. It was always at the feet of someone else. He had to work off scraps. So when he went forward, and he wouldn't go forward for 5-10 minutes, he'd go forward for half a game. Like, it bloody killed me. Like, is he actually a mid forward? He's not, is he?
No, he's not a mid forward.
Just absolutely killed me.
If he was a mid forward, you'd be very interested.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Change my tune.
So he averaged 107.1 his last 14 rounds. Can go big. He had a 149 and a 159 up there, but did, as Chris said, play it a lot forward.
Yeah.
However, if Menzel, Reed, Franklin, and Heaney are fit, he may be freed up slightly. But you would.
It's always a what if. Definitely a draft.
Well, and how long for will he be freed up for? So that's the other question. But I think he's good for.
He does the team thing because he's the captain, of course, as well. But he's just seen as that guy that if we've got a problem, I would just get Parker on it. He does, however, one of these big things.
Who's the captain?
Luke Parker. Isn't Luke Parker their captain?
No, JPK.
JPK's? There must be co-captains, or he must be vice-captain.
Yeah, vice.
Yeah.
Calm down, mate. Do you even know the game?
Anyway, so with Parker, if it's late in the game and the game's close, they throw him in midfield. So one thing I did notice is that they were like, nah, get him out of the forward line, get him into the get him on the ball.
So he could get some impact on games.
Because
he
impacts the middle. So so Parker. So Stonesy's just saying, don't touch him. Had him the whole year, depressing to watch, frustrating. Hashtag never again.
Hashtag yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's one of those coulda, shoulda, woulda. Goes well but not well enough.
It could be anything. The thing is, he's that good. I like as a player, as a player of football. It's that classic thing. Play your players in the goddamn spots they're supposed to be.
I like it how you said move on, and I just reeled you into
Sorry.
it, and then you just get
Stonesy just keep.
Right,
he just said capital letters never.
I love it. Lance Franklin, another one. 543k forward.
Let's get these highlights rolling, shall we?
Highlight me up.
Yes, 100%. Lance Franklin, absolute.
Have you seen the guy that comments on AFL and all these hits and stuff, and Lance Franklin just smashes and tackles a few people, and he's like, "Damn, that's a big boy. That's a big ass boy." Have you seen that?
I haven't. It's a YouTube clip, isn't it?
Yeah, it's this American that watches AFL, and Franklin's like kicking goals or take tackles.
Oh yeah, that like NFL player reacts. Yeah, I do watch that on YouTube.
He's like, "Damn, that's a big boy. That's a big ass boy." every time Lance Franklin gets it.
He live streamed the entire the replay of the AFL Grand Final.
Yeah, he liked it. Eh?
Yeah,
he was
good
into
on
it.
him.
Anyway, so Franklin, buyer beware. We're gonna
label
him buyer beware simply
He's
because
still gonna play every single game and frustrate the hell out of you.
Okay, so let's break it down. Number one, end of season minor knee surgery, not too bad. You could deal with that. Then he had groin surgery on the 20th of November. He's skills training for early of January. Best return since 2012 as far as Supercoach goes. So we're talking about the last 7 years. That's his best season. His best return. Okay? Now...
The thing is, he comes out in one game, doesn't matter if he's injured or whatever, and gets a 180. Every year. He'll get a 180 plus every
Well, this is where we're going to get to, Chris. So, he's 32 this season. Okay, so he's getting older. Yes, he's still great. I think he's a good option. I love watching Buddy play, hands down. Right? But this is where buyer caution comes into it, because 2 years running, his average has been inflated by a couple of big end-of-season scores. Last year, when we were saying, hey, like Franklin's pretty good, except don't forget his 98 average, it was more like he averaged 90 for the whole year. And then I think 2 out of his last 3 rounds, he got like a 170, a 176 or a 180, went huge. And then all of a sudden, averages 98 for the year. And everyone's like, oh, wow, Franklin, 98.5 average. How great. Except for 20 rounds, he averaged you 90, which isn't that great. Yes, it's good to be on him when he does have the big games.
The problem is as well, in the last round, it doesn't count towards your standard. It just
Not towards your standard,
It counts as total score, but doesn't count towards actually winning anything.
Exactly, correct. So here's where it happened again this year. Round 20 to round 22, Franklin was averaging 91.1 before round 20. 91 flat. The last 3 rounds, 178, 96, and a 161, and all of a sudden averages 100.1.
Classic Buddy. It's literally like it's not the first time he's done that.
No, it's not the first time he's done it. So for that reason, I won't be starting him. If anything, I'd rather bring him in after the bye when they have those few rounds. If I have room for him, I don't know. Ice
Truck Killer said he had a bruised heel for most of the season after round 1, and 100% accurate. Yeah. But it's Buddy all the time. Like Buddy always has these niggling injuries all through the season, which impact his scores. If Buddy was fully fit, I would 100% lock him in, but he's never fully fit.
Especially with groin surgery, minor knee surgery, for me, it's an upgrade target. I'm waiting until the bye because...
That bye special.
Once again...
Lance Franklin, round 15.
Exactly, round 15. Gold Coast, Essendon, Carlton, Freo.
Mate, he's got a target on his back, and it's called Chris's Supercoach team.
Yeah.
Upgrade target. Boom.
For me, upgrade target. 100%. I mean, I'd rather start a Heaney or something for consistency and then upgrade to a Franklin because his ceiling's always going to be there.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm bringing him in then. Let's move on to the next one, and we'll go with Isaac Heaney. So another premium. So they've got lots of premiums in this side.
Yep.
We'll even be nice enough to say
I think he'll be in a lot of teams, Isaac Heaney, this year.
I am one, and I'm with you. Because I think, again, natural progression, and we just think he's going to go nuts at some point. Will he get more midfield time? Hopefully, with a fit forward line, he might actually get a little bit more midfield time. Mm-hmm. But we saw last year, if their forwards go down, then Heaney is the one to actually drift forward. And which is evident because he actually averaged 107.8 the first 12 rounds And then he played a lot more forward and stuff, I think, as well. So Reed, Franklin being injured. And I think the Sydney just weren't scoring.
Yeah.
So they needed someone who could take marks. And he's probably the only one that could actually really get up.
Oh, he impacts games.
Yeah, Parker gets marks, but Heaney is just a freak above his head.
Yeah,
so,
because his vertical leap is insane.
Yeah, huge.
Yep.
So if they're fit in the forward line and they're healthy, then I think Heaney could be a really good option in that in your forward line this
I agree.
year. JPK, I'm putting him in the premiums just for sympathy. I do like JPK.
You like the look of him, mate.
Oh, do you see that photo I shared? He looks fit.
I know.
I reckon he could be in for a good year.
I think.
think
Don't get me wrong.
he's a good
Straight
player.
as an arrow, but he's a good-looking chap.
He is. He's a fit man. It's his lowest return since 2011.
It is.
So he averaged.
He's on the wrong side of 30, though, right? He's
Yes.
a bit on the.
Correct, but he averaged 96.8. He's a 525k mid. He had 1100s. So he had a 125, a 151, a 140. So he's definitely not immune to having some big scores. And but the problem was this year though, unlike any other year, he actually scored games of a 27, a 46, and a 59.
Yeah.
So for me, he provides really like a lot of value in standard. I probably wouldn't be touching him in draft unless I needed another midfield slot.
I think he's a valid selection, Stan, and I wouldn't be against people choosing him over a Zorko or someone.
I'm tempted, but I want to see him really look fit and the bits in JLT in preseason. I want to see him looking mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if he's 100%
I rate him as
in
a
the
selection. I'm probably not going to go there, but
no, not with his other value though. That's
what could get him into my team is how my midfield setup is compared to the buy structure.
Yep.
So if I'm coin flipping between say him and a Zorko at the same price, and the other one's probably Ollie Wines, which is definitely like they're all sort of within 10k of each other. I wouldn't be touching Ollie Wines.
No.
So if I coin flip between Zorko and Kennedy, because of the thing that gets them over the line is probably how they fit into my buy structure.
Yep.
So yeah, he could make my way into my team. I rate him that much, and in draft,
I'm big
value,
on draft. Yep.
big value.
Yeah.
Big time value.
Even if you get him anywhere like a 105, 106 average, he's still looking pretty good. Like third round, even as you like mid 2, mid 3, I think he still has a lot of value there.
I agree.
Yeah. And worst case is you're wrong, and there goes your season. But hey. What do you do?
It's not our fault.
So the next one is Callum Sinclair. I'm putting him in that category because he ranked to 97.3 in the rucks, so therefore he is a premium ruck. 528k. I think he might have some competition with Naismith back in.
I think he's not the number one ruck because he can play forward.
Yep.
So I think that if they play both of them in the team, the idea would be Callum Sinclair forward with as the resting ruckman.
Yes.
And then rotating through.
That being said, Sinclair's a pretty big boy. He could muscle some people out in contests as well in the ruck. So
but he also proved last year he can take some big grabs. I actually really like Callum Sinclair, and his ruck work is actually way better than I thought it would be. But with Naismith fit, or supposed fit, and coming back into, you can't select him at 528k.
No, and
I wouldn't even go
even in draft.
Not even in draft.
No, me either. And that's what I was about to get into.
That's someone that Matt Mercer will pick up, and I'm pointing at you. If you're watching this, which you're not going to, but if you are, that's who you're picking up. Guaranteed.
100%.
It's just a mate of ours who doesn't really pay attention. Just goes by the list and goes.
A couple of the new guys coming in here will be like, oh, what a great pickup. So his previous best year was 79.5. So I mean, the amount of fluctuation between his role and what he can score, for me, it's too much unknown. So avoid him. He did have a good year though. He had 11 100s and he had 5 120 pluses. So he did go huge.
Yeah.
And look, I wish him all the best.
Yeah, so do I.
Yep. Mid prices. So for me, there's only really a couple to watch. Mid pricer number 1 is Ryan Clark.
Yep.
I'm watching him purely based on role and opportunity and how he goes. So they traded for him from North Melbourne. He's a 355k defender. Traded from North Melbourne. It's been suggested that he plays through the midfield. So with the departure of Hanbury, it could actually facilitate that. So as a junior, Clark averaged 30 disposals, 5 tackles, and 121 fantasy. So I don't have the Supercoach relevance in his final year of TAC Cup. So midfielder, it's been talked about that he should be playing midfield. If he does, I want to see. So for that value, that's actually a really good mid-price option.
Great draft option.
In defense, yes. Correct. So I actually had to add him into my draft ranking list because he is now
worth... Another one? Is that the Harry Himmelberg?
Similar like that. But yeah, you add him to the bottom so that way he is... if you put him on your bench, if he starts playing midfield as a defender, he could easily average you 85, 87 and become a really good draft.
It's all about if he's actually in there 22.
It's if, and it's another one of those pre-season specials. Whether you believe it or not, it's waiting to be seen. But I also remember was it Sheridan?
Tommy Sheridan?
Yeah, Sheridan. Remember how he was going to be playing midfield and a defender and this, that, and the other? Jeez, he was hopeless. And now GWS has him. He actually started his own company too. I think it was watches or something. He's actually doing sunglasses. Tommy Sheridan. Oh, okay. Yeah, and then quite a few famous people are wearing his sunnies.
I like it.
He's actually making money.
Do you know
making bank?
Do you know Jaden Stevenson has his own clothing label? Jaden Stevenson.
What is it? The Beanstalk?
I don't know, but like he had this before he was drafted.
Right.
So as a 17-year-old, he started running his own business as a clothing label.
It's probably just to
family money. Like how did he do?
Oh, I know what happened.
What's up? What happened? Did you email him?
No. Collingwood told him to start his own business so they can funnel in money. Start it before you're drafted. Start your own business.
This is how the
and we'll just buy 10,000 of your t-shirts.
It's fully legit, but we're just giving away all these Jaden Stevenson shirts.
I know, exactly. Yeah, it's what a steal.
I like it.
Bloody Collingwood. No, I bet that's what they did. 17-year-olds, start your own business. Make shirts, make
well
whatever.
Done, sir.
Make Play-Doh. We don't care. We're going to buy a lot of it. And the next one is obviously Callum Mills, 428k defender.
Yep.
Is this the year for Callum Mills?
Who knows? I'm done with him. I'll like.
It's because you Chris was so bullish in draft and picked him up. Why'd you even pick him up so early?
Picked him up super early.
So early.
Had a great jail too. He was playing midfield, just loving it.
Oh, this could be the year. So for me, I didn't get burnt, so I am keen. Fourth year now.
I don't think he's a great defender.
Well, he's not.
I think there are better defenders. I think he's a midfielder.
He got forced to learn how to play defence. So
get him in the midfield.
He was an absolute gun. He didn't have any problems racking up the pill when he was a young'un. So he could have more midfield time to add some youth and speed. So for me, I am really watching him in pre-season.
I will be watching him
more so for draft. Like I don't know if I'll take the risk in standard.
Just a burn man. That's all I'm saying.
But that being said, if you can get a pure midfielder, if he does actually play pure midfield in a defensive slot,
100%.
I'm taking it. So. The others to watch, so JPK, if he's fit and firing, I'm really keen to see that one. And more importantly, just seeing how the Sydney midfield stacks up.
Yeah, a little bit like St Kilda is in.
Yeah, like, who's playing inside, who's playing outside, who's actually getting the
what's
gig.
actually happening with the change of roster and
well, because it influences, you got Parker influences Heaney, then influences Callum Mills and Clark. So who knows who's going to be in there, so I am really keen to see what eventuates.
I like it.
From that. So draft special, we already went through JPK's a steal. Parker, if playing mid, is amazing value. So again, watch for those
and we
roles.
Won't get, we won't get to know,
so you have to just kind of...
That's what I like about that, though. I like that...
It's a bit of hit and hope.
Because, I mean, if you're me and you, we're watching probably every JLT game, and we then have a massive advantage compared to
some of these other guys who don't watch much at all.
So we have some really good people that play in our league, and then we have some really average people.
Yep.
That's why we're really looking forward to the league with the other guys, with our... followers and Twitch followers and our really regular ones, because it's going to be a lot more competitive. So,
jeez, I think it's always competitive.
Our league, no, I think it's very competitive but I would say the bottom four have been perennially there for the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So
okay, so Heaney, I think would be a steal for an F1 anywhere on your side. So before people picked him really early last year,
and draft.
This year, draft you can even, You could probably get a midfielder, like 2 mids and then go a Heaney. Whereas last year, I think you kind of had to go like mid and then sort of people jumped on Heaney earlier.
Yeah.
So
people really thought that he was going to explode last year.
Yeah, so you could probably get him in your 3rd or 4th pick, realistically.
After Danger and Standard, I think Heaney is one of only really 2 guys I would put at that F2 spot, and it's him or Gray.
I still see Danger going pick 1 this year. For me.
You see Dangerfield going pick 1?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, with Mitchell now gone,
I think with Mitchell gone, I know Grundy and Gawn are pretty much 25 points more than the next best, but Dangerfield's about 20 points better than the next forward.
Yeah,
and he's
he's got potential to go higher.
Well, 4 years running, and he's fit. He's dropped like 3-4 kilos.
And likely scenario is Adler goes forward, Danger plays more mid time, and he averages 130.
I just think you know what you're getting from a Danger, but you don't know what you're getting from a Grundy or a Gawn.
Very cool.
So I mean, I picked bloody goalie at 127 2 years ago, and look how that worked out. So. I think let someone else take Franklin's highs and lows. I think Mills is a good draft sneaky who could improve
Stanley's having a bit of a
90 plus average.
He said, "Me biting off more than I can chew." Thanks, Stonesy. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Yep. Players to avoid, Franklin for now. Like I said, with the injuries, I'd like to see him back in that full fitness before I actually brought him into my side.
Fair enough.
Trade him in, if anything. So if he does start slow, you could always try and trade him.
I think that upgrade target is too good.
Or if he does start slow, trade him in trade for him in
Yeah.
in
He
draft.
will drop at some point.
Yeah, in
Guaranteed.
draft,
He
in draft,
always
trade
drops.
for him. Trade for him in draft. Once he has a slow start, and then knowing that you'll still have the possible back end to the season. Okay, and definitely players to avoid is Kieran Jack.
Yep.
So here's some interesting stats, Chris. So he averaged 57.2 in 2018. 57.2. But he was injured.
Very cool.
He was injured on 15 in round 16, Chris. So that takes his true average to 59.7. He's still horrible.
Hold on, sir. Burn.
Oh,
Burning the Jack.
Remember when Kieran Jack would get you 100 average?
I do remember. Those are good times.
What's happened to Kieran Jack? Is he watching too much league these days? What's going on? Too much debacle at home with his missus and his family not talking?
Well, I heard, there's some... That made major news, didn't it?
Oh, major news. Anyway, so I have a void for Kieran Jack. He's become
Fair enough.
He's become a role player with very little relevance.
Yeah, which is, you probably shouldn't have even brought him up, to be honest.
Yeah, pretty much. What do you see with like a Menzel coming back? What do you think?
Well, he's injured right now.
Yes, but what role do you think he plays there?
I think he definitely plays in their best 22, guaranteed. I think he's a best 22 player in any team in the league.
Yes.
But, I mean, where do I see him in draft?
Yeah, bench.
He's going to go late.
He'd be a worthy bench option.
He averaged quite well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did alright.
I'll definitely be looking at him, but it has to be a value pick on him because he's not going to play early. He's going to be playing a little bit later.
Yep.
So maybe that means that someone else picks him up based on his average before I see value in him. I don't know. Love Dan Menzel, love the pick. I just and again, one that if he plays, Parker or Heaney, midfield. Yeah,
that's fair. You know what I think is even better with our draft league? So I've got a spreadsheet. I'm probably going to release a spreadsheet, just a plain spreadsheet with positions and lists and what they averaged. Because Sam Reed's averaged like 100 off one game. So I'm hoping he'll be high up.
Special.
Yeah, high up on the list. So one of the guys down the bottom will just look at it.
Don't even include the games.
100 average.
Don't even include the games.
Just say average. Yeah. Players average. Don't even include the games. And someone will pick
Do your own research.
Someone will pick Sam Reed, 100%.
All right, guys. Well, we might leave it there. Thanks so much for having us today again. And... hit us up on our socials, comment, review, do all that 5-star rubbish, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Unfortunately, that is us for the recording for today as well, so we'll have to get together probably Sunday to do the last two.
Yeah, hungover, but we will get there.
Yes, we'll wear shades in true Blues Brothers style.
Slim shady. Sorry. Anyway,
cool. Anyway, thank you very much. Enjoy.
Thanks, guys. Bye.